15 goals from midfield, the newly crowned Serie A Midfielder of the Year, and a price that can climb to €70 million. This is the Tijjani Reijnders puzzle that Manchester City has rushed to solve. City fans are busy learning to pronounce Tijjani, while Milan supporters keep asking why did we let him go after he just signed a contract extension on March 3rd till June 30th, 2030. Choke number 1. Here is why Pep Guardiola signed the Dutch Dynamo, what secret weapons he adds to break the low block that cost City trophies, and how those weapons will be unleashed at the Club World Cup. 3 payoffs coming up. But hold on, if a kid who once packed supermarket shelves can outplay Toni Kroos at the Bernabeu only 2 seasons later, do you not feel the itch to know what happens next? Choke number 2. Keep listening, because in the next minute you will discover the quiet 10% sell-on clause that handcuffed Milan, the rush timeline that had Tjijjani Reijnders finalising paperwork at 3 in the morning, and the hidden running data that convinced City analysts they had found the missing gear. Strap in, the story starts now. You're about to see football reimagined before your eyes. Manchester City did not flinch at the $70 million fee because variables pointed to now or never. First, the spending to stay compliant chart shows City sitting on a £292 million buffer for the 2024-25 season, a margin few rivals dream of. That fiscal headroom lets Tjijjani Reijnders treat $55 million guaranteed as routine operating cost while sprinkling bonuses over windows, smoothing books for sustainability rules. Second, Kevin De Bruyne's exit tears a hole through the side. Guardiola wants a midfielder who can both knit and burst, not merely recycle the ball. Reijnders, crowned Serie A best midfielder after 15 goals and progressive carries, profiles as the rare conductor who also finishes the symphony. He operated as playmaker, pivot and third-man runner for Milan, roles that map neatly into City's left interior slot, where Bernardo Silva and Phil Foden interchange. Third, timing. The Club World Cup looms and Guardiola refuses to debut major signings mid-tournament. Closing the deal before pre-season guarantees Reijnders will master the automisms that make the positional game hum. Finally, opportunity cost. Milan's failure to reach the Champions League softened their stance, and the 10% sell-on clause to AZ Alkmaar nudged the Italians toward a bonus-heavy deal. With Liverpool and Bayern exploring alternatives, City struck early to avoid a bidding war and lock up a successor whose ambition, Ballon d'Or dreams etched in interviews, mirrors the club's hunger for dominance. Manchester City are not buying a replacement for Kevin De Bruyne. They're buying a new tool that solves 3 different tactical puzzles at once. First, Reijnders is the most prolific line breaker in Serie A. 47 of his passes sliced straight through a defensive line last season, more than any other player, and 147 split the midfield block, 7th most in the league. He even pierced 2 lines in a single action 26 times and 3 lines on 3 occasions, numbers that only 2 non-defenders could match. Inside Guardiola's positional game, the interior who connects Rodri to the forwards must thread these risk-laden passes to shift defensive shapes. Reijnders already does that by instinct, making him the natural conductor for City's left half space. He moves with the ball as well as he passes it. Only 4 players in Italy logged more carries of 5 meters or longer than his 561. And among the top 20 carriers, his average distance of almost 12 meters ranked second. He completed 275 progressive carries, bettered by only 1 non-defender, and finished 26 of them with a shot. Guardiola's system has lacked a vertical dribbler from midfield since the prime Ilkay Gundogan years. Reijnders can now drive through traffic, pull markers and open the lanes Erling Haaland craves. He finishes moves himself. 10 league goals and 77 shots led all non-strikers in Serie A, showing a knack for crashing the box from deep. That later rival echoes the trademark De Bruyne cutback finish, keeping City unpredictable when Haaland is occupied by centre-backs. What sets him apart is how calmly he does all this under pressure. In international play last summer, 80.5% of his touches came while opponents pressed him, and yet he completed over 90% of those passes, one of the best figures in the tournament. Press resistance is Guardiola's first entry requirement. Reijnders ticks it with room to spare. The obvious caveat is defensive output, a modest 0.8 tackles and 3.6 possession regains per 90. Yet that weakness is precisely why City's offer made sense. With Rodri anchoring and John Stones stepping into midfield, Guardiola wants his second interior free to gamble forward, not clog passing lanes. Reijnders can therefore mirror Bernardo Silva's freedom on the right, while offering a taller, more direct threat on the left. The result is a midfield triangle that can morph between a patient 5-lane build-up and a sudden 3-runner surge. And his ambition? He speaks openly about chasing trophies and even a future Ballon d'Or, and you get a profile built for Guardiola's relentless standards. Manchester City have not found the next De Bruyne. They found a player who can stretch, carry and score in ways that refresh the entire blueprint. Manchester City will pay an initial €55 million for Tijjani Reijnders, with a further €15 million in achievable bonuses, lifting the package to €70 million and making him AC Milan's richest ever sale if targets are met. The structure is deliberate. Milan owe AZ Alkmaar 10% of any capital gain, not the total fee, so a lower fixed base trims the cut that leaves San Siro. On a €55 million guarantee, the profit sits at €42.7 million, meaning only €4.3 million flows to Alkmaar, whereas a straight €70 million sale would have sent them nearly €6 million. Bonuses also help cash flow. The guaranteed money books into Milan 2024-25 accounts before July, securing a projected $13 to $14 million overall profit for the year. The deferred add-ons then drip into the 2025-26 balance sheet, softening the $90 million revenue hole created by missing the Champions League. For City, the upside is neat. Spreading payments keeps their profit and sustainability margins sound, and easy triggers like appearances and a Club World Cup medal mean Guardiola can budget for the figure with confidence. City have seized the moment. Their risk sits at amber. The fee rises to $70 million only if Reijnders plays and wins. Their financial headroom still near $300 million, and the true danger is bedding a new fulcrum into Pep's relentless rhythm. Milan's risk glows red, then fades to green. They bank instant profit but surrender a midfield heartbeat and must reinvest wisely or watch revenue ebb again. Upside for Manchester is clear, a press-proof line-breaker who can carry, score and age into the role, handing them tactical freshness and succession for Kevin De Bruyne. In Milan, he roamed wherever instinct beckoned. Guardiola stamps that passport only after a grind of tactical exams. Reijnders must earn the license De Bruyne once sweated for, matching the Premier League's warp speed before the headlines can count his goals and assists. His first duel in England, then, is with freedom itself, the fuel that lit him in Serie A. Upside for Milan is liquidity now and later, a balance sheet cushioned against a Champions League drought and room to rebuild with younger parts. So the move reads like this: City gamble on talent and time. Milan trade brilliance for breathing space. Which side wins will be etched on English trophy podia and Italian ledgers over the next 2 seasons. Stay tuned, the verdict will echo far beyond one summer check.